When we appreciate a company, we really appreciate the people that run that company or work for that company. Similarly, when we appreciate a city or a country, we appreciate the people who live there, the people who define that system or collective. The collective itself doesn't have a spirit. There is no such thing as a good or bad system or a good or bad company. There are only good and bad people, and they are collective standing. Similarly, when we say a product is good or a piece of art is good, we're not exactly talking about the product, but about the person or about the group of people that made that product, right? It's the same thing. So when we observe our world and evaluate it, we are evaluating the people involved in the background, not the work itself. And when we speak about people, what exactly are we speaking about? Like what are we really appreciating if we appreciate a group of people? I think that's parental values, because what we see, the virtues we see in people reflect the virtues of their parents. That's essentially how a country is defined. If you see a country as highly disciplined, it likely means all its citizens grew up in families where discipline was considered good. Or if you see a company of, say, um, hippies, then that means the people who work there grew up um, in families that had hippie mothers and fathers. Now, the next question then is, where do parental values come from? Anyway, when we say that parental values define the collective, I mean parental values shape the collective. It is possible for an individual to diverge from the parental ways of doing things, but if he does that, then he would suffer the consequences. The black sheep generally isn't very financial well off, because the collective would really punish him for not continuing the collective myth. Anyway, so where do we get these parental values from? We get them from a spousal selection mechanism, right? Say in a country like India, where a woman would love a government servant with a shaved, with beard, then there we get parents, fathers. There are government servants with a shaved beard, or in, or if we select women for their skin color, then we get a generation of mothers who are light skinned and have no other virtues at all. They can't cook well, so other children eat outside. They don't know much about personality, so other children have bad personality, no individualistic development. They don't know about music, so the children don't know any music. They don't know about sports, so the children don't know anything about sports. Can't appreciate sports and arts either. So you see, essentially, the spousal selection mechanism of a culture therefore defines all the different forms of collectives that are present in that nation. Companies, works of art, works of engineering, countries, cities, they're all reflections of spousal selection mechanism. And we can further this line of thought by asking the question, where do we get spousal selection mechanism? Like, what are the factors that influence spousal selection mechanism? And then we can go into the the spiritual state of the people. Because a man of high spiritual level would rather take a woman of a similar spiritual level, regardless of her skin color. And a woman who is very spiritually enlightened would also select a man who is very spiritually enlightened and not burden his children with the lifestyle of a government worker. So there are definitely different roles to it, but I think the relationship between the spouse selection mechanism and collective virtues is fascinating. But there's no particular reason to point fingers at our institutions, at the government, at the collective in any ways, because they all reflect the values of the moral and character values of people, which reflect the parental values, which reflect style selection values. I think this much is enough just for the fun of it.